Hi, everyone. Happy Wednesday. So glad to have you here. The animals have assumed the position. They're ready for yoga. I hope yours have too. And I'm glad that you have taken some time for yourself to join us here with our community tonight for some yoga. If you've not practiced with me before, I'm Mikki, and our Yoga and Beer motto is to do what feels good. So that's what we're going to do tonight. We're just going to take an hour for ourselves to move our bodies in a way, breathe in a way, and treat ourselves in a way that feels really nice tonight. If you have any technology problems during class, like if at some point for some reason you can't hear me or the feed goes down, just put a comment in the chat section and I'll have that up to keep an eye on so that I can fix things along the way as we go. We are going to get started tonight in a comfortable seat. So let's just find maybe a cross-legged seat. Could be crisscross applesauce. You can't really see it, but cross-legged. You could sit on the heels. You could also have the legs straight. And if you were coming to yoga tonight hoping to lay on the ground for a little while to get started, you're welcome to do that instead. And as we settle in here, let's just start with a little movement to kind of get into the body. So let's rock the spine maybe a little forward and back to sort of feel your weight shift forward, feel your weight shift back. And then maybe do that same thing side to side. So little rock to the right, little rock to the left. And somewhere between that forward and back and side to side is a place where you feel just really balanced, neither tipped forward or back, neither tipped right or left. Let's find that place. It should just feel really easy to sit and exist there. And let's do the same thing with the neck. Let's let it roll a little sideways and then forward and to the other side, and then chin to chest, another side. And then let the chin fall forward again. And let's bring your head up right on top of the spine. And just finding a place to exist for a little bit that feels spacious and easy. Let's place your hands on your lap. Let's go palms face down if you feel like you need to ground a bit today. Palms face up if you feel like you need some energy. One of each if you have no idea what's going on. And then if it's comfortable, let's close the eyes. And let's all collectively take a big breath in. And all collectively take a big breath out. Breathing together as a community. Let's do that one more time. Big breath in. And open your air, or open your mouth, let it go. And then from here, allow your breath to just start coming in and out through the nose. And allow the various pieces of yourself to arrive fully here in the moment. Your body, your physical body is always here and now. It's really hard for your body to be in the past or the future. But our mind is a little bit trickier. So let your mind begin to focus on the things that are here right now on this 2x6 yoga mat in your space. Feel your breath. Feel the ground beneath you. Feel the ground beneath you. Feel the temperature of the air on your skin. And notice and observe how you feel emotionally and energetically in this moment. And what we find with fear and anxiety and worry is that quite often they're products or results of letting our mind live not in the present, worrying about what's going to happen or could happen or might happen again. And the practice of presencing, of bringing ourselves here into the moment, is a really useful tool in battling that. Because more often than not, what we find is that in this moment, a lot of those worries and anxieties and fears aren't present right here, right now. And those of you that practice with us regularly, you'll know that we've been doing a monthly practice, a monthly focus each month. And on this first day of April, our practice for this month is going to be that practice of presencing. And our mantra is going to be, in this moment, I am. And you can fill in a blank after it. So let's take a few breaths here. We'll start moving momentarily, but let's just take a few more breaths in stillness. And I want you to try that on. Silently to yourself, in this moment, I am, and fill in the blank. I am safe. I am well. I am with community. I am peaceful. In this moment, I am. I invite you tonight, as we move through our poses and through our practice, our physical practice, you just to notice the moments where the mind wanders off to things that are not right here. And maybe the greatest gift the space and practice gives us tonight is that opportunity to not think about all the other things for just an hour. So maintaining your breath, and whenever you need it tonight, adding in those repetitive words, right? A mantra, just this kind of repetition, the seed that we're planting. In this moment, I am. You might fill in the blank, you might not. Let's inhale and begin to take your arms wide and up to the sky. Let yourself get really, really tall. And as those hands hit the peak there, we'll let the palms come together and exhale, hands down into your heart. Let's take two more there. Inhale, big reach. And palms come together, down into your heart. One more time. Reaching wide, reaching tall. And hands to heart. And let's keep your hands there as they settle. We're going to tip back and just recross your legs. Other leg in front. And then let's take your thumbs. We're going to latch them together and take those latched hands forward. Nice and slowly, keeping that latch on the thumbs, a little tension between the thumbs. Let's take your arms up toward the sky, and you might stop with a slight angle in the arms. Your arms might come all the way up. Let's give it a try. See what works in your shoulders. And as you reach up through your fingers, let your hips get heavier down into the floor. Really let the ground support you. We're going to keep the heaviness of the hips, the length, and reach up through the fingers. And from around your waist, we're just going to start to rotate towards your right. Doesn't have to be a huge movement, just a little rotation around the waist. And as you take that rotation toward the right, can you lengthen or press down through your left sit bone just a little bit more? Steady, full breath in. Steady, full breath out. And let's slowly untwist. Bring your arms back down parallel to the ground. We're just going to re-latch with the other thumb on top. Create that gentle tension between the thumbs again. And then reaching forward and up, take those arms any amount up toward the ceiling. Feel the hips get heavy as the hands reach up. Get some length through the waist, through the spine. And then let's rotate towards your left now. Rotating toward the left, that right sit bone, you're going to invite it to get just a little heavier into the ground, a little less hesitation there. And let's go ahead and untwist. Release your hands, let those arms come all the way down, and we're going to roll over onto hands and knees, politely requesting that any fur children on the mat make room. So we'll come into table, and we'll set up with your wrists right below your shoulders, knees right below your hips. And let's inhale, drop the belly, lift the heart, lift the head, cow pose. And then exhale, round your spine. Let your head fall forward for cat. Couple rounds here. Belly down, head and heart up. Exhale, round the spine, let the head fall forward. Not in any rush to get anywhere else, just being right here, right now. In this moment. One more round here. And as you inhale the next time, we'll come into your table shape, nice long spine. And let's make sure your left hand is below that right shoulder. We're going to start to take your right arm out to the side, up toward the sky. And then as you exhale, we'll reach your right arm under your left. We're not going to come to lay on the shoulder. You're just going to reach under, tap the ground, and then come back up, right hand toward the sky. Exhale, sweep it under. Tap. Inhale, bring it up. How about one more there? Take it under. And bring it up. And then let that right hand come back down, right below your right shoulder. We're going to keep the left leg where it's at, but we're going to take your right leg, and I'm going to actually turn so you can see. Right leg is going to kick out toward the side. And you can either do toes pointed forward or toes pointed out toward the side, whatever feels nice for your ankle. And we're going to keep your hips over that left knee, but walk your hands forward any amount. So it's puppy dog pose with this sort of kickstand with your right leg. And just let your forehead melt down toward the ground. Feel that gentle pressure if the forehead finds the floor. If it doesn't, don't worry about it. And let's take a couple really deep breaths in the front and the back of your heart here. And then let's walk your hands back under your shoulders. Walk that right leg back into table. Find that neutral spine once again. Shins and feet pressing into the floor. Make sure your right hand is below your right shoulder. Let's inhale, left hand toward the sky. And then sweep that left arm under the right. Tap the floor. Push into that right hand. Sweep the left arm back up. Exhale, swoop it under. Inhale, sweep it up. One more. And then let your left hand come back down underneath your shoulder. And we'll take that kickstand with the left leg now out to the side. Is everybody else able to hear me, or is it just Jillian that's having problems? If you can hear me, then left leg out to the side, toes pointed forward or toes pointed out, and walk your hands forward. If anyone else is having problems with the mic, just make a comment, please. Oh, I see. Okay, Couple breaths where you're at. I'm going to try to fix something. Okay. Okay, thank you, Jillian. All right, so if you're in that sort of puppy dog kickstand shape, walk your hands back under the shoulders and then bring your knee under your hip. And let's take one more round of cat-cow here. Inhale, drop the belly, lift the heart, lift the head. And exhale, round. Inhale, table. And let's set your hands for downward facing dog. So make sure you have a good amount of pressure across the entire palm of both hands. Your knuckles really rooted into the floor. And let's take your hips up and back for downward facing dog. And as you get into your down dog, let's go ahead and rise up onto the tippy toes of both feet. And then let the heels drop. 2 more times, rise up. And heels drop. We're going to change the pattern here. Inhale, rise up onto those tippy toes. And then I want you to draw your right or bend your right knee and take your left heel to the ground. So left leg will stay straight, right knee bends. And then let's rise back up onto both tippy toes and we'll switch. Left knee bends, right heel drops toward the ground. How about we do that each side one more time? So rise up, right knee bends, left heel drops. Rise up, left knee bends, right heel drops. And then let's rise up onto the tippy toes of both feet. We're going to start to walk feet forward toward your hands, maybe hands toward feet, until you're in that standing forward fold. And let's take a halfway lift to start. Come on up, fingers slide up the shins, let the spine get parallel to the ground. And then with an exhale, sort of dramatically, just fold and let it go. And let's sway a little bit right and sway a little bit left. And then bend your knees quite a bit. And let's roll up inch by inch by inch, all the way to standing. Now as you get upright there, let's just take some big shrugs of the shoulders. Forward, up, back and down. Forward, up, back and down. And then let's inhale, hands go forward and up to the sky. Palms join together overhead, and let's exhale, hands down into your heart. Inhale, let's take your hands, reach them forward. Exaggerate that forward a little bit, like you're reaching for something way out there. Bring them up. And exhale, hands to heart. Let's do that same thing out to the side. So exaggerate that reach out, like your arms could get an inch or two longer, and all the way up. And hands to heart. Let the eyes drop or close. A couple breaths here. Let those hands settle right in front of your chest. Maybe connecting once again. In this moment, I am. Inhale, hands go up. Let the eyes open. And then exhale, let's bow forward. Inhale, halfway lift. And then we'll fold with your exhale. Right foot's going to stay, left leg steps back. We're going to let your back knee come down to the ground for this first round. You might choose to pad it with something if you're on a hardwood floor, like a blanket or a sock. And let's come on up, hands to the sky. A couple breaths there, just to feel yourself rooting down into your lunge, down into your feet. A sense of lift up through the hands and the spine. And we're going to bring your hands to your heart, tip forward. Left elbow down, right elbow up. And you're either going to put your left elbow on top of the right thigh, or you're going to sneak your left elbow outside the right thigh. Couple breaths here in your twist. And if you're not feeling like you're able to really get enough pressure between your hands, big full inhale here. Full complete exhale, go ahead and release. Let your hands come down around your front foot. Let's lift that back knee, so tuck the toes under if they aren't already. And any way that works for you, it doesn't need to be graceful. Find your way back into downward facing dog. You are definitely welcome to stay here for a few breaths. You also could drop down to knees and take some cat-cow. If you were here with us on Monday, we did a bunch of dolphin and forearm stuff. Those are always options as well. Or if you want to keep moving here tonight, inhale, come forward to plank, top of a push-up. Knees come down to the floor for this first one. And let's point the elbows straight back as you lower, chaturanga, all the way down to the belly. At the bottom there, we're going to untuck your toes, point them back. Inhale, just a little baby cobra, just enough that you could kind of lift the hands off the ground. If we were at a brewery tonight, we could high five here. You might high five with the person in the room with you if there's someone, or your cat, or your dog. And then exhale, lower back down. And let's press into hands and knees, come up, table. And press back, downward facing dog. From your down dog, let's take left leg, lift it up and back. Nice and steady, nice and slow. Exhale, foot between your hands. Back knee comes down. We'll rise up into our low lunge. Hands go skyward. When you're ready, hands come to heart. We'll lean forward and we'll rotate right elbow down, left elbow up. And either right elbow on top of the thigh or right elbow outside the left leg. And remember from that first round, if you don't feel like you can really get enough traction between your palms, the option here is to fist that right hand, cup it with your left, and push down. One more full inhale here. And a full complete exhale. At the end of that exhale, we'll untwist, let your hands come down. Lift that back knee off the ground. And step your back foot forward. Fingers slide up the shins, halfway lift. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, rise up, reach up. Exhale, hands to heart. Observe yourself breathing in. Observe yourself breathing out. With your next inhale, hands to the sky. Exhale, let's fold. Fingers slide up the shins, halfway lift. And then we'll fold, left foot will stay, right leg steps back. Back knee is going to stay off the ground this time unless you just really loved it with the knee down. We're going to come up into your lunge. The only difference is that back knee is lifted. And then let's straighten your front leg. Feel super elongated here. As you exhale, we're going to bend the front knee, lean forward, and tap your right elbow to the left thigh. Doesn't matter if it actually touches, but head that direction. And then inhale, come up, reach up, straighten the front leg. Let's do that a couple times. Exhale, bend, lean, and twist. Inhale, rise up, reach up. About two more here on this side. We'll rise up, get super tall. And then bend the front knee, let your hands come down around your front foot. Any way that works for you, downward facing dog. Again, you are more than invited to stay and be still here for a few breaths, or replace it with anything that feels nice. Or inhale, come forward to plank. Your choice to keep the knees lifted or put them down. We'll bend the elbows straight back as you lower. And then inhale, find that cobra. You might lift up a little bit higher this time, where you wouldn't be able to give high fives. And then lower back down. Pressing up through table. And downward facing dog. When you're ready, we'll lift right leg up and back. And foot between your hands with your exhale. Back knee lifted if that feels all right. Let's come up into your lunge. Once you found your footing, we'll inhale, straighten the front leg. As you exhale, we'll bend the front knee, hands to heart, left elbow taps right thigh. Inhale, come up, reach up. You've got 3 more there with your breath. Try to keep it steady. Try to be really present with each inch of movement where you're at, as opposed to rushing to the destinations. Last one. We'll bend the front knee, let the hands come down. Step forward. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Bend your knees. Come on up. Chair pose. Everyone's favorite pose. So you could be anywhere between a standing desk and maybe not all the way down to a squatty potty tonight, but you could take it low if you want to. And we're just going to bring your hands down onto your hips. Let's put your weight into that right foot. Try to keep the knee bent. Take your left leg, step it back. Try to keep that right leg bent. Step the left leg forward. We're going to do that a couple times. Exhale to step back. Inhale to step forward. If you want to add arms in, as you step back to lunge, you can take the hands, reach them back. As you step forward, hands come up and forward. How about 2 more with a smile on your face? Even though I can't see you, I can hear you and feel you scowling at me. 1 more step forward. And then we'll step back into that lunge and settle. Let the hands come up. Let the front leg straighten. That should feel nice. You're welcome. And we're going to bend the front knee, bend your elbows out into a goal pose shape. Again, inhale, straighten, reach up. Exhale, bend the elbows, bend the knee. Let's stay like this. Option 1, stay here. And if you're staying upright, you could push the elbows gently back, like there's a wall to push them into. Option 2, take your body and just lean it forward over that front thigh, so you've still got your goalpost shape. Lengthen out through the elbows. Last option, if you want more, come on up onto that right foot. Try to keep your arms in that goalpost shape. How about 2 full breaths? If you've come up into your warrior 3, bend that front knee, step back. Big reach up with the front leg straighten. And then rebend that front knee. And we're just going to take a pivot to face the long edge of your mat. Hands are coming back onto your hips. Feet are parallel, legs are straight. Let's pull the elbows back like you've got a thigh master behind you, between your elbows. And then let's just pause here for a moment. So root down into the inner and outer edges of your feet. Feel your legs engage, that lift of quads to have really strong legs. Lift up through the chest, crown of the head. And then we're going to start to fold, not at your waist, but from your hips. Try to keep hugging those elbows back. And you determine when enough is enough. Hands could come down to the ground beneath your shoulders at any point that it feels nice. But if it feels okay to keep them on your hips, keep them on your hips and hug your elbows back. Try to get the shoulders to move away from the ears, the neck and head to feel long, like you're a turtle coming out of its shell. One more breath wherever you're at. And then slow and steady, root into your feet. Bring yourself right back up. Right toes are going to turn forward. Pivot and step that left foot forward as well. Inhale, hands to the sky. And exhale, let's fold. Fingers to shins. Drag the fingers up the shins, halfway lift. And exhale, fold. And let's, if it works in your proportions, just sort of wrap your arms around your legs. Your knees could be softly bent here. And let the head hang. Couple breaths here. Let those back molars separate so there's a sense of release in the jaw. And then keep your knees bent. Let your arms dangle to the ground. And let's roll up inch by inch by inch. Let the arms be heavy. Let the head be heavy. The head will be the very last thing to lift up and stack on the body. And then let those shoulders roll back and down. Maybe close your eyes or drop your gaze for a couple breaths. In this moment, I am. I am steady. I am well. I am clear. Whatever that blank is for you. What are you in this moment? Not the next moment, not tomorrow, not 2 weeks from now, but right now. And start to let the corners of your mouth curl up towards your cheeks. And bend your knees, open the eyes, sit back, chair pose. So the hands can be added in right away this time if you'd like, or if you prefer just to keep them on your hips, put them on your hips, keep them there. We're going to shift into your left foot, keep that left knee bent. Right leg steps back into your lunge. Hands go back if you're including the arms. And then keeping that left leg really bent, we step forward, chair pose. You've got a couple rounds there. Try to keep it slow and steady. There'll be some rounds that feel kind of clunky and off balance. And there'll be some that they almost feel like you could linger a little longer in them. It does not matter which is happening on an inhale or an exhale, just keep the breath moving. And the nice thing about everyone's dislike of chair pose is that it's really hard to think about anything other than your dislike of chair pose when you're in it. How about 2 more here? And I believe this is your last chair pose for the night. I believe. Coming back into your lunge. Let the hands come up. Let that front leg straighten. And then we'll bend the front knee, bend your elbows. Inhale, straighten, reach up. Again, bend. And let's keep your elbows bent. Back leg is strong and powerful. Stay here or tip your body forward. Basically, so you're on the diagonal with the back leg. Stay here or up you go, warrior 3. Steady breath. Noticing the details of the moment, even if they're unpleasant. Last full breath here. Bend that front knee. Step back into your lunge. Arms straighten, front leg straightens. And then let that front knee bend, let the hands come down. And let's step back, downward facing dog. As always here, you have the invitation to stay, or inhale, plank. Knees up or down will lower, chaturanga. Inhale, back bend of your choosing, as high into that cobra or up dog as you'd like to come. And exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, prepare to move to the top of the mat. We'll bend knees, lift heels, look forward, and then use your exhale to walk, step, or hop, top of the mat. Inhale, halfway lift. And fold. It's April Fool's. I had to get one in. Come on up, chair pose. That wasn't your last chair pose. April Fool's. All right, right hand, right hip. Left hand across to the outside of the right thigh. Pause. Push the left hand into the outer right thigh. Move your heart forward. And then I want you to imagine that you were right against a wall, like your hips were on a wall. And I want both of your sit bones, so both sides of your butt, to equally press into that wall. So feel like you're kind of lengthening back through your thigh bones. Some of you might stay here. This is already a chair and it's already a twist. You're already doing the work. If you're like, I want more, slide that left arm down, further down the leg. But what's going to happen is that left knee is going to want to move forward. Try not to let it. Both hips pressing back equally. Last two breaths here. Maybe your right arm goes up toward the sky. And then slower than you want to, with your next inhale, slide up. Come back up through chair and straighten your legs. Let your hands come back behind the head. Give your head a hammock. Thumbs on the bottom ridge of your skull. So the occipital ridge, thumbs are there. Use the thumbs to lengthen the back of the neck and let your head fall back into your hands. If this is not pleasant on your kind of pecs, the front of the chest muscles there, you can wrap your elbows in. And then use your hands to bring the head back up on top of the spine. And just let the hands come down right over your heart, palm over heartbeat. Close the eyes or drop the gaze. Feel your heartbeat. Feel your breath. Feel the floor beneath your feet. And then sit back. No April Fools this time. This is your last chair pose. Left hand, left hip. But it's not like couch pose, right? We've done enough of that. This gives us a little bit of juice. Right hand outside the left leg. So again, I want you to imagine, and if you have an open wall, like the one behind me, you can even go try it out. I want you to feel like both of your sit bones, both sides of your hips would be equally pressing into that wall that's behind you. And stay here if you'd like. There's that rotation, the length, the power. If you want more, start to slide that arm further down. Notice what's happening to the knees. Can both hips continue to press back evenly? Last 2 breaths. Maybe your left hand goes up toward the sky. And then slower than you want to, slide all the way back up to standing. Let's root down into your feet. Keep those hands reaching up this time. As you inhale, let's maybe reach those hands an inch or 2 or 3 back, little belly stretch. And then sort of like a crunch, just exhale and restack your body. How about 2 more there? Inhale, reach back, little belly stretch. Exhale, bring it back up. And 1 more time. Your legs are strong columns. Exhale, come back up. And let's fold. Fingers slide up the shins, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Let your hands find the ground, and let's take it back into downward facing dog. If you're craving a vinyasa there, go for it. If you're happy just to walk back to down dog, walk back to down dog. And let's take a little wag of your tail side to side. Old, slow dog. Tail wag. However it works for you, we're going to bring your right foot forward between your hands. Pop onto your fingertips, step that back foot in just enough so that you can straighten the front leg. Doesn't have to go all the way straight, just let it head towards straight. Allow yourself to bow over that front leg as much as feels nice. Left hand will stay rooted. And let's take your right hand, reach it out to the side and up toward the sky. That's going to be your inhale. And then exhale, let the hand come down. So if you're not feeling this, you could just stay folded. If you need a little boost or lift, you could put a hand on the shin. If you have a water bottle or a block, you could also use that. Right hand goes up on the inhale. Exhale, bring it down. 1 more time, inhale, reach up. Exhale, let it release. Get rid of a block or water bottle if you added it. Hands come down. Let's step back, downward facing dog. And let's take that right leg, lift it up and back behind you if that feels comfortable. We're going to bend your right knee and then roll the right hip so it stacks over the left. Kind of like you're trying to touch the wall behind your body there with that right foot. And then slowly let the leg straighten, release that foot down to the floor. And then we'll bring your left foot forward any way that works for you. Step your back foot in just enough that you can straighten the front leg. Remember, it doesn't have to get all the way straight. And allow yourself to bow forward any amount that feels good here. Or a block or a cat, gently. And we'll take your left arm out to the side, up to the sky. And then exhale, bring it down and release. 2 more. Inhale, out and up. Exhale, out and down. 1 more time. Open. And close. Let the left hand come down. Release the right hand to the floor as well if it was on a surface. Let's step forward 1 more time. Inhale. Let's rise all the way up to standing. Big, powerful reach up toward the sky. And as you get up right there, we're just going to take your hands, release them back behind you. Find a clasp in your hands. So all of the fingers webbed or just the thumbs, up to you. Knuckles toward the ground, heart toward the sky. A little bit of space creation in the front of your shoulder. And then keep that shape in your arms. We're just gonna turn that left leg back, step open, feet wide, feet parallel. Option to keep that shape in the arms, and we're gonna fold forward into your wide-legged forward fold. We did it earlier, with the option to keep this clasp, and not out of force, but out of release. Allow those arms to fall any amount away from the low back. If you try that and your shoulders say, heck no, then just let your hands release down to the ground. How about a few more breaths here? If you have another option that you like, you could have hands on outer ankles or hands on hips. All of those are great options. Wherever you're at, let that head be super, super heavy. If your hands are anywhere but the floor, let's slowly start to release them down to the ground. Push the ground away. Soft bend to the knees, strong core, strong legs, hands come to hips. And let's float all the way back up. Turn and step to the front of the mat. And then take your feet about as wide as the short end of your mat, toes out, heels in. We're coming down to the ground, and if it works in your body to come down through a squat, we'll come down nice and slow, and you're welcome to do that. So knees bend, hips drop. If this is not good for your body, then make a comfortable and safe descent down to the ground for you. If you're happy in your squat, maybe stay for a breath or two. Hands could be at heart or reaching toward the sky. And then let your hips come on down, any way that works for you. And let's take your legs straight out in front of you. Hands to your sides, not behind you, just kind of straight out from the hips. I like to be up on fingertips. It feels sort of powerful for me. Pull your toes back toward the knees, press forward through the heels, let your thighs get heavy. Couple breaths here. Observing and noticing the details of this moment and your existence within this moment. Over time, getting really good through this practice at discerning what is here and now and what is not. What are thoughts that come from future, come from past? Let's reach down behind your right knee, help that right knee bend. Option 1 is to keep that right foot in front of the right thigh. Option 2 is to cross that right leg over and put the foot on the ground. So either right leg on the right side or right leg crossed over. Either way, let's step into that right foot. So it's an active connection of foot to ground. And I'm going to give one more option for those of you that sit comfortably this way, and that would be to wrap your left leg around as well. Now, the tell of if this is appropriate for your body or not is, can you have the double wrap and have two hips heavy on the floor? Give it a try. If it doesn't work, re-straighten that bottom leg. Let's take your left hand up toward the ceiling. Add as much length through your spine as possible. And then we're going to take your left elbow around your right knee. Right hand back behind you. Just barely touching the ground. That back hand pushing the floor away more than it is supporting you. And let's turn your gaze over that back shoulder. And then slowly rotate the head and turn your gaze to look over the front shoulder. But we do that 2 more times. Just really slow, gradual turnings of the head to release the neck. One more time, turning back. One more time, turning forward. Your glamour shot. Turn. And then go ahead and release. And we're going to take either right ankle on right thigh or a full cross of that right leg so that the pinky edge of the foot is on the ground. Those of you that had the double wrap, you potentially could end up in Gomukhasana legs, two knees bent and stacked on top of each other, pinky edges of both feet on the floor. A half option is a great option. And let's just return with the fingertips out to the sides. Find that really tall spine once again. Wherever you're at, let the hips be really, really heavy. Notice if there's one of your sit bones, one side of your pelvis, one side of your hips that feels heavier into the ground than the other. And is it possible to very subtly anchor down evenly through both sides? And then lean back on your hands just enough that you can release the legs both out to straight in front of you. And let's do that on the other side. So reach down with your left hand, help the left knee bend. Foot in front of the left thigh, option 1. Option 2, crossed over. Option 3, double wrap. 2 heavy sit bones, tall spine, lots of space to breathe wherever you're at. Let's take right hand up, get tall, get long. And then elbow around the left knee. And left hand back behind you. Make sure in whatever option you've taken of the shape tonight, you have a really easy ability to breathe in and out. And let's turn the head to look over your back shoulder. And then turn your head to look over your front shoulder. And we'll do that really slowly 2 more times. You're welcome to close your eyes. No rush to get anywhere other than right here, right now. One more time toward the back. And one more time toward the front. And we'll slowly untwist. And slide that left leg further over, either figure 4, ankle on thigh, or it's called half calf face, knee on top of the leg, and the pinky edge of the left foot on the ground, or the potential for the double. Hands out to the side, let's sit tall and settle in. Let the attention really settle around your low back and your hips. Noticing those slight differences, those slight asymmetries, and seeing if you can get really evenly heavy through both hips. One more breath here. And go ahead and lean back on your hands, enough that you can release that top leg or both legs if you've got them both crossed. Let's slide them just wide enough that you can really freely and easily swivel. Side to side. And then we're coming down onto our back from here. So as you come down to your back, let's walk the feet in really, really close. Knees bent, feet flat on the ground. And I want you to take your hands high on the thighs. So in this orientation, it'll be close to the ground, kind of as close to your pelvis, but on the thigh bone as you can get. And we're going to push the hands in. Oh, it's the best. Push your hands into your thigh bones there for a little decompression. And it can be a pretty vigorous pressure. Take deep breaths into the extra space that creates in your abdomen and the spaces between the vertebrae of your low back. And very easily and gently release that pressure. Maybe a little swivel in your knee. And then let's place your right ankle on the left thigh. Let that right knee fall open. And we're going to do that again, but you've got asymmetrical shape in the legs now. So you've got left hand right where it was before. Right hand will now be in the inner upper right thigh. And again, just gently press away. Start gently and then add pressure as it feels nice and as it makes sense. Try to keep the pressure even between your right hand and your left hand. And then ease the hands off of the legs. Open the arms into a T. Keep your legs in this shape. And we're going to drop your legs over toward the left in this shape. Right foot will be on the ground. Outer left thigh will be resting on the floor. And instead of letting the right knee fall towards you, keep that right knee pressing away. And you could even, if it feels nice, take your left hand and gently push that knee away. Right here, right now. In this moment, I am. Fill in the blank. Let's release the legs back to center. Let the right foot come to the ground, and then let the left ankle slowly make its way onto your right thigh. Let the left knee fall open toward the side. And then again, hands to the tops of the thighs there for that decompression. Gently push away. Release the pressure from the hands. Let the arms open into that T. Let your legs fall toward the right any amount. And if it's possible for that left foot to get to the floor and your right outer thigh to be on the ground, awesome. You want to add the hand in. If you did that on the first side, just kind of gently pushing the thigh away. You can try that. And try not to let the mind wander off into what's next. Just continue to be here with this breath in and this breath out. Be here with this ground that's supporting you and the sensations in your body. Be here with this air that you're breathing and this community of people that is practicing alongside you from their own homes. One more full breath here. And release that arm. If you've got it pressing into the leg, let the legs come back to center. Let the foot come on down to the ground. And let's take your legs out to straight if that's comfortable for your low back. If it's not, feet go wide, knees with them bent, fall in on one another. And let's settle the arms down by the sides. You might sort of wiggle your shoulders underneath you a little bit more. And let those arms fall open. Let's collectively take one more big breath together, inhaling. And exhaling fully. Feeling that full body release into your final shape of relaxation tonight. Take rest. If this is the best thing that's happened to you all day, you might stay for a while longer if you can. When you're ready, start to let the breath deepen. And start to let things move, fingers and toes, maybe a little rock of the head side to side. And let that movement gradually get bigger and bigger, bringing you over to a side and eventually little by little up to a comfortable seat. As you find that seat, let your hands come over the heart, palm over heartbeat. In this moment, I am. And perhaps taking this mantra, the seed, with you as you head off. Every time you start to feel the creeping anxieties or worries, just bringing it back to this moment, what's present here and now. And finding peace here in this moment. Thank you all so much for practicing together this evening. The light within me honors the light within each of you. Namaste. Thank you guys so very much. A couple quick things before you head off. So we'll do this again Saturday morning at 10, and then next week, Monday and Wednesday at 6. So that's our schedule now for our new normal for the time being. We are giving away tonight a gift card to 1859 Cider Company here in Salem. And we're changing things up a bit. So in order to be entered to win tonight, just head to either our Facebook page or our Instagram page. And we made a post today with that mantra, in this moment, I am blank. You'll see an image of that, and just comment on that picture with whatever your word was that you filled in the blank with tonight. Just kind of let our community know what you're feeling and what you're thinking about to stay present. And we'll do a drawing for that tomorrow morning. If you would like to make a contribution for class tonight, details for that are in the description of the video. But I'm just so grateful that you all were here, and I hope you have a lovely evening. We're going to pop over to Zoom and chat for a little bit if you'd like to join us and cheers with us. No pressure, but we'd love to see your face if you want to chat. I'll throw the Zoom link in the chat feature here in just a moment. And if we don't see you there, I hope you have a great Wednesday night, and I'll see you again soon. Thank you guys so much. Thank you, Lauren. Oh my gosh, Jackie, my best friend since I was 18 months old, is here with us tonight from Japan. She actually designed all of the graphics that you guys know for yoga and beer, and she's never taken a yoga and beer class. So thanks for being here, Jackie. You have now. Thanks, Bella. Thanks, Nicole. Thank you, Danny. Hi, Yuga. Thank you. And thank you, Jillian, for pointing out the audio tonight. I'm not sure what was going on. All right, here comes the Zoom link. Give me just a moment. There's the Zoom link. Come chat if you'd like. If not, I'm signing off from here. Hi, Catherine. Oh, thank you so much. I'm glad. I love when it's perfect. All right, guys, I'm heading over to Zoom. Come see me if you'd like to chat for a bit. Mwah. Love you all.